brought to you by Penguin. Talk, the science of conversation and the art of being ourselves. Written and read by Alison Wood Brooks.
For Sarah. Introduction. Years ago, my third child, a sweet, scrappy girl who followed on the heels of two raucous older brothers, said, "Love you," for the first time and smooched the tip of my nose. My heart swelled. Though I am a serious scientist who is not supposed to feel outsized human emotions, in that moment a spring of hot, fat tears welled up at the bottoms of my eyes. After 15 months of feeding, rocking, singing, working, smiling, crying, and mostly silent screaming, hearing the words "love you" fall out of her sweet mouth was a miracle. This was a moment for baby books, love songs, fairy tales. It was only after I tucked Charlotte in her crib, closed the door gently, and crept almost down the hall that it hit me. My daughter had said, "lick you," as in, "I'm going to lick you." Then she'd licked the tip of my nose. Blame gaming aside, because clearly it was her fault, missteps like these are not unique to conversations with children who are just beginning to acquire language. Conversation is humbling for children and adults alike. We trip and stumble through moments of awkwardness, discomfort, tension, and boredom in hopes of discovering learning, joy, progress, and connection. And not all conversational problems are simple mishearings. Some years before the lick incident, over a dinner of soup dumplings in a trendy restaurant downtown, I worked up the courage to tell my good friend that I wasn't sure about her boyfriend. I'd been thinking about it for many months, probably over a year. He was okay, I said, but she was spectacular. I was worried about her happiness, her future. She received my feedback graciously. She didn't seem entirely surprised, and she engaged with me about my viewpoint. When her eyes became a little misty, I switched to a different topic. I knew she'd heard me, and I didn't want to push it. 2 days later, a text from my friend popped up on my phone. Did she want to talk more? Was she ready to open up about the struggles in their relationship or her own doubts? Nope. It was a photo of a diamond ring glinting in the sun. I recognized her hand, the same red nail polish she'd worn 2 nights earlier at our soup dumpling dinner. Her boyfriend had asked her to marry him, and she'd said yes. Though I thought our conversation had gone smoothly, and I was proud that I'd worked up the courage to share my perspective, I had not helped my friend. And I hadn't just misheard her, I had misunderstood her. In her pensive quietude, I thought she was welcoming my views, on the verge of opening up about how she was wondering about him too. In reality, she had already helped pick out the ring, and she didn't know how to tell me how misguided my advice was. In response to her photo text, I wrote back swiftly, "Wow, he's a genius. This ring is gorgeous, just like you. I hope you're absolutely over the moon." Privately, I hoped my enthusiasm would help erase the misguided feedback I'd delivered 2 nights earlier. I hoped she'd forget how I'd raised the wrong conversation topic at the wrong time and misread her cues. In every conversation, we make thousands of fleeting micro-decisions about what to say, how to say it, and when. Some of the decisions go well, and others don't. Even normal, well-intentioned, perfectly reasonable choices can create problems, from tiny fissures to aggressive ruptures, in our connection. Sometimes we can feel that something we've said has negatively affected a conversation or a relationship. But sometimes we don't know that something's gone wrong, or why. Sometimes problems pass fleetingly, no big deal. But sometimes our conversational missteps can have big consequences, from unease, confusion, and awkwardness, to hostility, depression, and heartbreak. Even though we do it all the time, conversation is surprisingly tricky and high stakes. In fact,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?